Hello students, in this video I'm going to present some central concepts that are related to the marketing as a discipline. One of the more important concepts in marketing is the market concept. So, what is a market? A market is basically a group of customers who will acquire something from a group of individuals or organizations, and when they do so, they will exchange for something that is valuable to the other part. For instance, I can have the consumer market that will buy products and services, and in exchange they will give money to organizations and business. But we can have many other types of markets, like the labor market, where companies try to attract the best employees, while employees want to have a good salary in order to have a good environment to work within the company, or have some challenges and so on. And because of that, we don't have just one type of market, but also we have many types of markets. The main markets that are focused in the marketing as discipline are these four ones. The most popular is the consumer markets. So basically when people try to acquire new products and services, and in exchange will give money or basically money or their time to a company or to a group of companies. Most transactions nowadays occur, a lot of transactions nowadays occur in the consumer market, also known as B2C, business to customers. Also, we have the business to business markets. Basically, when a business tries to serve another business, they are in the business to business market. Indeed, the majority of the transactions in any economy are occur in the B2B market. The reason why is that for each business to customer transaction, you have a lot of business to business transactions to deliver the product. You have the transactions between the suppliers, the distributors, the retailers, the governments, and all these transactions will always be required to deliver a final product to a single customer. Also, we have the non-profit markets, also known as governmental markets or non-governmental organizations markets. In that case, we are basically talking about companies that are trying to serve the governments or other organizations that are not aimed to achieve profit. In that case, you have a very special way to deal with these companies, because not all the time they will have different way to evaluate the offers, and the decision making is usually much more complex than if you compare to traditional business to business transactions. And finally, we have the global markets. In that case, we are thinking about a company that are looking to a country or a region as a main part of his strategy. In that case, it's basically the most important market for an international marketing course. When you think about a company trying to enter into a new country, into a new region, understanding what are the cultural differences of people belonging to that society, and how the company can adapt its strategy to really serve this market, and how to develop this strategy and operate there. So the global markets is basically the most important type of market for the international marketing course. And what will drive people to buy a given product or service? To understand that, we need to understand the concepts of needs, desires, and demands. So, what is a need? Basically, a need is a basic human requirement. So what people really need in the end. For instance, we need to eat, we need to drink water, or we need to drink something. We have the need to have social relations. But over our interaction in society, we learned what will best what is the best choice that we have to satisfy a given need. And when you have this understanding, then we have a desire or we have a want to satisfy our needs with a specific product. So the wants and desires is basically when you believe that a specific product or service or a specific alternative is the best one to satisfy your needs. In that case, wants and desires are really under a very strong social and cultural influence. For instance, people may have thirst. In some time, I can have, for instance, thirsty, but then I say, okay, I'm going to drink Coca-Cola because I want Coca-Cola, and my need is I need to drink something. And what will be the demand? Demand is basically when you want something and you also can afford for it, so you can buy that product. Most of times, this means that you have the money to do that. For instance, I can, maybe the case that a person wants to buy a Ferrari or a Harley Davidson, but if they don't have the money, they cannot generate demand for the business. They have the want, the desire, but will not, you have no demand for that. So the demand is when you meet desire with the required resources to really make one exchange. As you can see, it's not so easy to make a differentiation between in practice, not so easy to make a differentiation between needs, wants, and desires. And the reason why is that what is really a basic human requirement? Sometimes what is really basic for someone is not so important for the other one. And sometimes people want to do something that is not really based on one essential human requirement. Let's give an example. Some people go to the restaurant and okay, you need to eat, it's important to eat, but some people will eat a lot, much more than necessary. And when you think about it, you may think, what people are really doing? They are satisfying a need, or they have just the wants to have to drink, to have this large meal. And we may also think of another examples. For instance, when you see someone in a party buying things to other people, spending a lot of money, taking pictures, we may think, oh, this is not something essential. This is just a desire, something that is not really important to human life. But you can imagine that for some people, this is really important. This could be the most important thing of life. And when you think about it, this, for some people, this is not a desire, this is a need. And sometimes it's not so easy to make a differentiation between a need, a want, and desire. Because of that, it's more easy to say that in general, market managers will try to understand customer need, wants, or desires to then improve the demand for a given product. Let's take a look to other very important marketing concepts. The first one, marketing channels. So the channel of marketing is basically a way to flow the communication or flow the products and information to the market, and also to receive these information and communications from the market. So we may think about your distributors, you may think about many different marketing media, you may think about the marketing information systems, the way that you can collect information from the data. You may think about the logistics of the company. These are all parts of the marketing channels. Some will deliver communication and information, some will bring back information, and others will deliver products or receive something from the market. For instance, the bank can be a part of your financial market channels because you're going to receive money using, receive something from the market using this channel. Also, we have the definition of competition. So competition is a very important concept because when you don't have competition, indeed marketing is not so important. Marketing becomes important when you have a lot of competition, and then you need to have the best product to deliver the best offer to the market in order to conquer the customer that exists. Also, you have the concept of marketing environment. And what is that? Basically, it's the context where you're going to make the decisions in your business. And this will be related to the sector of activity, basically who are the competitors, who are the buyers, who are the distributors, the suppliers, and so on. And also the main environmental forces that will drive the way that the sector will operate. For instance, political forces, economical forces, social forces, technological forces, environmental or ecological forces, and legal forces. This is also named as the pastel analysis. Also, we have the concept of offers and brands. So basically, it's the most important aspect of your value proposition. When you try to sell something, you have one object and the brand and the services, and this bundle of elements, it's basically what you're going to deliver into the market to conquer or to achieve a social exchange. And the concept of value. So the value in the terms of marketing is usually related to the value perceived by your customers or perceived by the market. And what is the value in this point of view? It's basically the difference between the valuation that the customers will attach upon the benefits less the costs to have a specific offer. For instance, you may, when you buy something, you're going to make one assessment of the positive aspects of that product, like the quality, the technology, the brand, but also you have some costs associated with this transaction. You have the financial cost, but you may have other costs, like depending on the quality of the customer service, you may have a lot of problem to deal with that company if something happens with what you're buying. So you have many different costs, not only the financial one, and when you make a decision, we are basically trying to increase the benefits and reduce the cost in order to have a greater value in that exchange. And finally, the definition or the concept of satisfaction. When you buy something, you're trying to satisfy yourself, as I told you, to satisfy your needs and wants. And the satisfaction, it's a very important goal of any company. So this measure, it's important to understand if customers are perceiving value in the long-term relationship with the business. And to do that, we need to meet the expectations or to satisfy their needs and wants. In this video, I presented some very important marketing concepts. So, see you later. Bye.